Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and today I want to introduce you to bail making pliers by Wubbers, and I'm actually going to use them to make a little bail using a finding. They come in 3 different sizes. We have small, medium, and large. There are actually 2 size options for the bails. You'll notice that each prong is a continuous diameter, unlike a round nose plier where it's tapered at the end and wider at the base. These are going to be the same thickness all the way through, so you can choose. If you get the large one here, you're going to get a really extra large size bail making tool, and also a slightly smaller one, but still a large one. And that gives you actually 6 different size options between the 3 pliers. So the way you're going to want to use these is you're going to take a pendant. So you've got a piece here where you're going to need to create a bail for. I see I've got that center hole, and it's best to line up your bail making pliers with the width of your pendant to see how big of a bail you're going to need. So I can take the small one and I'm going to line that up. It's going to be a little bit too small. You'll see I'll go to both sides because they do come in 2 sizes. I'm going to do this one here. That's actually looking pretty good. If you can see that that's about the same width as the actual pendant itself. This one here is going to be a little bit large. It probably would work and I could taper it in, but I think that's going to be just about perfect. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a finding. I've got this little connector here. It's a silver plated filigree connector. It's got 2 holes, which is real important because those holes are going to then line up with the hole in the pendant. And I'm going to take my bail making pliers, put my filigree in the center. Make sure that's very evenly centered because when you bend it over, you want these holes to match up. I'm just going to hold it. I'm gripping it, and I'm going to take my fingers, pull it down evenly, and there you can see my holes now line up. I take it off, and I've got a perfect little bail. So now to connect it on to my pendant, I have a head pin. It's 2 inches, 22 gauge. The most important thing to consider is that the head itself is going to stop and be large enough that it won't go through the hole in your filigree piece. So keep that in mind when you're looking at which head pin you're going to want to use to do this. There are several different ways of connecting these, and this one though is what I feel is easiest. So go ahead, put your bail onto your pendant, take your head pin, put it through the hole, and then make sure when it comes out the other side that it goes all the way through the hole on the other side. Pull it through. Now I'm using a 22 gauge head pin because I want to be able to wrap this around the inside of my bail. So I'm going to bend my tail of my head pin over. I'm going to thread it through the bail, and I'm actually going to take a pair of pliers just so that I can get a better grip on it and pull it. You can see I've looped it around now. I'm actually going to pull it again over the front. Push it through. Grab that tail again. Pull. And that is anchored on there. It's actually flexible, which is really nice. It allows it to move. Just going to take a pair of flush cutters at this point. Snip off the tail, and I have a secured bail. So that was really easy, and that's one way of doing it. I have another example over here where we've taken a Swarovski heart pendant and a larger filigree. We did the same process using one of the larger size bail making pliers. You can see this fits into it just like that. So we used the large size. And then what we did is we took a head pin, we put it all the way through, but what we did is to add a little decorative flair, we put a bead cap on there. We went through to the other side, we wrapped it around, and then we glued on another bead cap, and then we glued a little Swarovski flat back rhinestone as well for a decorative touch. And then in this pendant that we just made, what I would do is I would just go ahead, string the necklace through the bail like so. But if you didn't want to do that, you could do what we did here, where we just attached some jump rings so that we could put the necklace through right there. So here are a couple ways to make bails using bail making pliers. And another use I want to show you for bail making pliers is if you like to work with wire a lot, I have a spool here of 20 gauge wire, and you want perfect loops every time. Bail making pliers are great for that. You can see that I was able to make a loop, and I'm going to be able to duplicate that loop over and over again, and it's going to be the same diameter each time. As opposed to if you were doing this with round nose pliers, you'd have to remember where along the prong of the plier you made the loop so that you have even ones each time. This way is always going to be perfect each and every time. So that was a quick introduction to bail making pliers. They're a great tool to have. I hope you enjoyed this quick introduction to Wubbers bail making pliers and that you'll find them useful in your jewelry designs.